Good morning everyone. Welcome back to my channel Learning Circle. Today in this video, let's discuss Karnataka School Examination and Assessment Board SSLC Model Question Paper 1 2025-26. Subject First Language English NCERT 15E. Question paper with complete key answers in this video. General instructions to the candidates. Please try to read all these general instructions to the candidates. So without wasting time, let's begin today's video. First main, four alternatives are given for each of the following questions. Only one of them is correct or most appropriate. Choose the correct alternative and write the complete answer along with its letter of alphabet. These are all MCQ questions. There are 6 questions in this question paper. Okay. First one. Today, all of us do by our presence here confer glory and hope to the newborn liberty. The noun form of confer in this sentence, confer is underlined. So the noun form of confer is conference. The noun form of confer is conference. Conferring verb, confident, adjective, configuring also verb. Okay, so the right answer is conference. Chimney for the nose. The figure of speech in the given line is. So in this statement, chimney is directly compared to a nose. So it is undoubtedly metaphor. The right answer is B, metaphor. The cars were striped blank going any further due to a traffic diversion. The appropriate preposition to be filled. The right answer is striped means stopped. Stopped from. The right answer is stopped from. Students were blank to participate in workshop and submit a report at the end of the day to the English teacher. The correct form of verb to be filled in the blank is, correct form of verb is, this is a passive voice sentence. Were asked is right answer. You will travel to native place. The suitable question tag to be added. Right? Question tag is helping verb will is there. So negative form of will is won't. So the right answer is won't you. The residents promised to blank the president of the association in his demand for proper garbage disposal system. So the proper verbal phrase to be filled in the blank is stand by. Stand by means support. The right answer is stand by. Let's move on to the next types of question. Observe the relationship between the first pair of words and complete the second pair accordingly in the following. These are analogy questions. Okay. So first one, human, inhuman. In prefix is added and made human into opposite word of human. Okay. So polite, the right answer is impolite. Polite, right answer is impolite. Im is to be added. Rigid means stiff. These are synonyms. Contentment, satisfaction. Next, roof, roofs, loaf, loaves. Here, roof, roofs. Plural form of roof. Loaf, plural form, loaves. Kind, kindness. Here, kind, base word becomes noun. Loaf, base word will become noun form of laugh. Right answer is laughter, noun form. So let's move on to the next types of questions. Rewrite as directed. Change the voice of the sentence. Voice means active voice and passive voice. They express their ideas. This sentence is in active voice. We have to change it in passive voice. Change, interchange subject and object. Here subject they and object their ideas. So their ideas become subject. Their ideas were expressed by them. Okay. Subject and object interchanged. Were helping verb is added because expressed is in past form. So were expressed, past participle form of expressed by them. Okay. So the right answer is their ideas were expressed by them. Frame a question to get the underlined words as answer. Radha borrowed an English novel from her cousin. Her cousin is underlined. Okay. So the right question word is here whom did Radha borrow an English novel from? Or you could write it as from whom did Radha borrow an English novel? Let's move to the next question. Frame a sentence using the word dance as noun. So here dance is also used as verb and also sometimes adjective. Okay, so we have to use this word as noun form. See here, we watched a wonderful dance. We watched a wonderful dance. In this statement, dance is noun. Okay, you could frame any sentences like this. You have to use dance as noun. Okay, let's move to the next types of questions. Answer the following questions in a sentence each. There are 7 questions here, okay? Where did the boys deboard the train in T from Assam? Deboard ಅಂದ್ರೆ getting down, ಇಳಿಯುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇಳಿದ್ರು ಅವರು? At Miriani Junction in Assam. Okay? So, two friends, boys, deboarded at Miriani Junction in Assam. How did leopard recognized in how to tell wild animals? So leopard is recognized as a black spotted animal. Leapt or jump on us is said to be leopard. Okay, next question. Mention the sitting posture of fog. The sitting posture of fog is noun form haunch, on haunches. Whom did Anil talk about after Hari Singh's self introduction? Anil, after Hari Singh's self introduction, talked about well oiled wrestlers. Why does Suraj Danby get angry? When anyone talks about honor among thieves, Suraj Danby gets angry because a young lady tricked him and made him to be arrested. That's why he gets angry. What did Visible Griffin find in the restaurant kitchen? Visible Griffin found cold meat and coffee in the restaurant kitchen. As said by a think tank, what has Earthlings discovered? Earthlings have discovered how to combine agriculture and mining. Now let's move to the next types of questions. Answer the following questions in 2 or 3 sentences. You have to write minimum 2 or 3 sentences compulsory. Okay. There are 7 questions here also. Interpret the drastic effect of an hour of hail rain in letter to God. So you have to write at least 3 sentences. Hailstorm continued for about an hour. The cornfields were completely destroyed. The field now was covered with snow like a layer of white salt. Okay, let's move to the next question. According to Natalia, why did green meadows belong to them? Natalia says that oxen or green meadows belong to them. 1 sentence. She says that they had the land for nearly 300 years. So 300 years in the ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ land ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. She can't stand unfairness through the meadows are worth 300 rubles. Just 300 rubles worth ಇರುವಂಥ ಮಿಡೋಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅನ್ಫೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಕಡೆ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಅಟ್ ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ 3 sentences. Mention the features of chameleon as in how to tell wild animals. ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅದರ features ಅಂತ. Okay. A true chameleon is a small animal like lizard. First sentence. He has no ears at all. He has not a single wing. The poet says that if you see only this creature on the tree and not any other thing, you must be sure that you are seeing chameleon. Okay, you have to write at least 3 sentences. Brief the feeding time of observation of Mr. Harriet. Feeding time observation ಅನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು. ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಹೆರಿಯಟ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು? ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಹೆರಿಯಟ್ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಬೌಲ್. ಬೌಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಸ್ಲೋಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಫುಡ್ನ. ದೇರ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ರಶ್ ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಸೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಈಟಿಂಗ್ and every dog knew that some competition for the last part of his meal. So ಬೇಗ ಬೇಗ ಆ ಏನು ಫೀಡ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೇರೆ ಡಾಗ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಕಾಂಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವೇಟರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮಿಡ್ ನೈಟ್ ವಿಸಿಟರ್. ಮಿಡ್ ನೈಟ್ ವಿಸಿಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ನ ಸ್ಕೆಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ. ಆಸಬಲ್ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ it would be the police who was knocking at the door. Actually, who was knocking at the door? He was Henry, the waiter. When the door opened, he was standing there with a tray, a bottle, and 2 glasses. Okay, you have to write at least 2 or 3 sentences for this question meaningfully. What opinion did Mr. Wearer, a bright social science teacher, have about him? Mr. Richard A. Wearer was a bright social studies teacher and advisor. 1 sentence. He described Ebright, a man of varied interest. 2 sentence. Ebright put in 3 to 4 hours at night to debate, doing debate research. Besides, he was doing all his research with butterflies and his other interests. Okay, you have to write at least 2 to 3 sentences here. Okay. Next. Reproduce the confession words of Matilda Loisel to Ma'am Forster, or enumerate the consolation note of Sulekha to Ramlal after her wedding broke down. So you can write this question very easily. Boli consoled her father that even if she did not get married, she would take care of her parents in their old age. She also tells him that she would teach in the same school where she had learnt so much. Okay, so now let's move on to the next types of questions. Rewrite as directed, very important grammar questions here. Change the following sentence into reported speech. Reported means indirect speech. So here, the host said to his guests, "What a pleasant it's to meet them at the party." This sentence is indirect speech. If you want to change this into indirect speech, the host told his guest that, host said to becomes told his guest that it was, is here, present tense, it was a pleasure to meet them at the party. Change the given simple sentence into compound and complex sentence. On account of his coming late, his parents punished him. It's a simple sentence. Change it into compound and complex sentence. Compound sentence, we have to use coordinating conjunction. So here meaningfully. See how compound sentence. He was late, so his parents punished him. We have to use so coordinating conjunction. Complex sentence. As bar since he was late, comma, his parents punished him. As bar since is subordinating conjunction. We have to use here subordinating conjunction. If you wish more sentences about simple compound and complex sentences for learning purpose, you could message in the comment section. Change the following sentence into the other 2 degrees of comparison. So this question is based on degrees of comparison. Kolkata is more populated than most other cities in India. This sentence is in comparative degree and restricted statement. Okay, so positive degree. Very few cities are as populated as Kolkata in India. Superlative degree, Kolkata is one of the most populated cities in India. Let's move to the next types of question. Answer the following questions in 5 to 6 sentences. You have to write at least 5 to 6 sentences without missing. Okay, that's very important, and you have to write meaningful sentences also, and you have to keep in your mind some very important statements and very important words. You have to underline those words also if it possible. Okay. How did the young seagull's family enjoy the time he had made his first flight? Okay. The young seagull was afraid to fly because of his first flight. So he thought his wings not support, and the young seagull was very hungry. That's why the hunger intensified him to make him fly. And at last, he saw his mother tearing a piece of fish. So, not being able to resist his hunger, he dived at the food. Naturally, his wing supports him and began to fly. After flying in the sky, conquers his fear to fly. Around him was his family crying and praising him and offering him scraps of dog face. Okay. So choice question is also given here. You can write that question also. Next, move on to the next question. Anne found a real friend in writing diary. Illustrate. So Anne wanted the diary to be her real friend. Okay, so she named it as her friend Kitty. She wrote that she was not completely alone in the world, but she had loving parents and a 16 years old sister. Though all of them are there, she felt alone and she had not true friends. That's why she made Diary as her real friend. You have to write meaningfully 6 to 7 sentences for this question. Okay. Why did Kisagotami meet the Buddha? How did Buddha change her life? Kisagotami's only son died, as you know the story, full in grief, and he asked everyone to give medicine for her son, but no one has given medicine to him. At last, she met the Buddha and asked her the medicine to make her son alive. Buddha asked her to bring her a handful of mustard seed. Later, she was not able to bring the mustard seed. At last, she come to know that no one could avoid dying, and people weep over their dead ones, but it's only the wise who do not grieve as they have accepted the truth. A person should only try to seek inner peace. Let's move to the next question. Elaborate the phrase epistemology of loss, referring to the ball poem. So I have to write the short summary of the ball poem. Okay, ball poem written by John Berryman describes grief of a boy over a loss of the ball, learning to cope with the loss of the ball, and learning to grow up in this world of professions. You have to write at least 5 to 6 to 7 sentences meaningfully, and you have to write a short summary of this poem. Then only this question will be meaningfully answered. How does the imagery of the trees movement from the house to the forest in trees reflect themes of liberation and growth in human experiences? The poem Trees. For this question also you have to write a short summary of this poem, okay? Symbolic poem. And you have to write about the struggle of population of trees to escape from the house to the open forest. You have to write short summary of this poem, meaningfully at least 8 to 10 sentences, okay? Let's move to the next question. How did Matilda's desire for material wealth drive the plot of The Necklace? The Necklace is a story of a middle class lady named Loisel. She was born in a poor family and was married to a clerk, Mr. Loisel. So I had to write 5 to 6 to 7 sentences like this meaningfully. And she was dissatisfied with the poverty of her family and she wanted to have luxury life. She borrowed necklace from her friend Ma'am Forrester and lost it in the ball. So she decided to replace it with the necklace that looked similar to it. To get a new necklace, they had to take many loans As a result, they led a miserable, miserable life full of poverty and struggles. Finally, at the end, it is discovered that the necklace was actually fake. This is the story of summary of the story, the necklace. Now let's move on to the next types of question. Explain with reference to the context on annotation questions. She looked at me very strangely. Okay, she looked at me very strangely. This line was taken from the lesson story The Black Aeroplane written by Frederick Forsyth. Okay, you have to write first line like this. This line, who tells this line to whom? Okay, this line was told by the pilot or narrator to the readers about the woman in the airport control. Okay, and you have to explain few lines about this sentence. Okay, like this. The narrator landed his plane safely with the help of a mysterious plane. After landing, the narrator went to the control center and asked a woman about it. It was mysterious plane. So at last, she told him that there was no plane like that flying except his on such a stormy night. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. I was craning my neck trying to follow the hunt. This statement was taken from the lesson Miss Will, the author written by Gavin Maxwell. Okay, next. This statement was told by who tells this statement to whom? Told by the author to the readers when he transports author from Iraq to London through the plane. Okay, the narrator was on an airplane traveling from Basra to England with his pet author named Will has disappeared in the plane. He looked at his pet carefully. The above statement says that the narrator on a plane is trying to follow the author, Miss Bill, as it ran away. Okay, so I have to write meaningfully 3 to 4 sentences. Has given my heart a change of mood. This line was taken from the last poem, The Stuff Now, written by American poet Robert Frost. The poet, it was told by the poet to the readers about the okay snowflakes. The poet was going somewhere. You have to write a brief summary, very brief summary about this poem. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. I'll certainly never let down my bright hair. I will certainly never let down my bright hair. This line was taken from the poem Amanda, written by an Australian poet Robin Klein. This line was told by the little girl to Amanda, little girl Amanda, to one of her parents. Actually, this line was told by little girl Amanda to herself to about to one of her parents. Okay, so you have to write a short introduction about Amanda, and you have to write 3 to 5 lines related to that statement like this. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Quote from the memory, very easy poem. You can write first poem or you can write the last poem very easily. Now let's move on to the next types of questions. Answer the following questions in 7 to 8 sentences. You have to write 7 to 8 sentences, very meaningful sentences. 42nd question. No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, his background, and his religion. Elaborate on the basis of this chapter. Nelson Mandela. You have to write meaningfully 8 to 10 sentences like this. Seven to 8 sentences like this. Okay. So 20th century and horses condition of South Africa. You have to write like this. Okay. Or you can write the answer for this question also. Choice is there. Why did Wally spend her time all alone and what became her favorite pastime? Here there are 2 questions are there in this question, sub questions. You have to write about why Wally spent her time all alone. You have to write like this. Later, you have to write another sub question. Why? What become her favorite pastime? You have to write like this. At least you have to write 8 to 10 sentences like this. Okay. Who are feathers? Why are they friends of children and important to Goans? So you have to write first question who are feathers like this. The bakers are popularly known as feather in Goa. First one. Okay. So next why are they friends of children? ಯಾಕೆ ಅವರು children's friends ಆಗಿದ್ರು? Right like this. And they again why they are important to go on, write like this. Okay, so you have to write the meaningful sentences accordingly, at least 8 to 10 sentences. Let's move to the next question. Here also choice is there. How does the ignorance of Mesbel as a creature in the urban environment of London reveal insights about people's perceptions and knowledge regarding animals? Okay, so write like this, 8 to 10 sentences. Okay, next, very important, I have to write tiger in the zoo summary like this, and briefly summarize the poem Amanda. So you can write Amanda poem summary also like this. At least you have to write 8 to 10 sentences meaningfully. Next passage is given, very easy to understand. So you have to read the passage thoroughly and understand the question properly and try to write the answers like this. Okay, let's move to the next question. Write an essay of about 18 to 20 sentences on any one of the following. So here two options are given: students and social service. B, essence of ecological balance in the environment. So here marks are allotted like this: for matter 2 marks, for sequence 2 marks, for language 2 marks. Totally 5 marks. You have to write uh, the essay accordingly. Okay. Next, letter writing. So there are two letters are given in this question paper. So both are official letters given. Actually, one letter official and another letter will be given. Personal letter will be given. So in this question paper, there are two official letters are there. For any letter, you have to follow this format. For format, 2 marks. For matter, 2 marks, and language, 2 marks. You are going to get out of out marks if you follow this criteria. Okay. So hope you have understood this video very well. I tried my level best to answer all the complete answers for this question paper. So please like, share, and comment and subscribe to my channel Learning Circle. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.